There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast. It's your host, Hatch.
Yep. You got your boy T.O. in the building. And man, I'm excited about today because I have a former teammate and then we got a Super Bowl champion teammate at that. He's DeMarcus Ware, Super Bowl 50 champion with the Denver Broncos. And I wanted to say Dallas Cowboys,
but you can't.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But when you say that there's greener pastures on the other side, he found greener pastures on the other side.
Absolutely. Again, Dallas Cowboys from 2005 to 2013. Then he left Dallas and went to the Denver Broncos, where he did win that Super Bowl ring in Super Bowl 50. Again, DeMarcus Ware, 9-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first team All-Pro, 3-time second team All-Pro. He also led the NFL in sacks in 2008 and 2010 and is on the NFL 2000s All-Decade team with UT as well. So welcome to the building. DeMarcus Ware is coming to bless the stage today, ladies and gentlemen, on Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. That's right. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Yep. And if you want to see the video version of this, go to the YouTube channel and type in Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. We're doing things right this year. We're kicking off the new year with new things. So again, go to the YouTube channel, search box, go to YouTube, go to Get Your Popcorn Ready.
Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcast to Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. Yee!
Yep. And you want to see that video version of this, go to the YouTube channel and type in Get Your Popcorn Ready.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome DeMarcus Ware to Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. Thanks for coming on the show, young fella.
Hey, thanks, man. Thank y'all for inviting me on, man. It's good to catch up with my boy.
I know you limited on time. I know you limited on time, man. So I gotta go to rehab anyway. I gotta go get my training on.
You ain't
I gotta go get
rehab,
my fitness on. You know what I mean? Everybody don't have fitness apps and all that stuff like you do. I'm getting emails, NFL PAs sending me stuff. Oh, welcome to DeMarcus Ware's new fitness launching this app. I'm like, man, get out of here.
Why you gotta be the stiff robot guy when you talk about the app? Tell him, D-Ware, show the app.
Hey, listen, man. I told T.O. a while back when I retired, man. He know how I love to work out. Every single time he seen me, I was in the weight room working out. Now I get an opportunity, man, to spread that fitness mentality and motivation through Driven to Win, right? And I told T.O. I got a section in there for him. I got the ab section in there for him.
Okay.
And the Hall of Fame wide receiver section in there. I think he can teach a lot of these kids and college people, and college players about what it takes to be a Hall of Fame wide receiver, right?
Oh, I've been seeing a little snippets of your stuff on social media anyway. So all you gotta do whenever you want me to slide through, I'll come and do a little segment with you. Hey, I'm giving you some help now because it's gonna help boost your subscription, your subscribers up now. But I know one person that should already be subscribing, and that's that guy right there. He should already be subscribing. So
Matt, you need to get your mind right, man. Don't be back there. I see you got your hoodie and all that.
Hey.
You need to get right, all right?
You want to talk about Mr. Tin Man?
I tell you what,
oil on his joints.
Hey, look, D-Ware, ask him how many injuries he had and ask me how many injuries I had. If anybody's fragile, it's this dude over here. He always blowing an ACL, an MCL, PCL, TOCL. He blowing everything. At least I'm staying healthy.
You finished?
I'm just getting started.
Okay. How many years did you play?
8 years. One injury.
How many did I play?
How many were you injured? 8 years? You got injured 8 years.
None. I only got hurt after I got hurt when I was out of football. Football.
I tell you, every single year T.O. came back from, I think it was Achilles, it was a knee.
Right.
Look, that dude came back. Listen, hold on. No. Here's the real question. T.O., every single time we worked out in the off season, I was like, where's T.O. at? And you would come in with them bands. You will only be working out with the bands. This is what pissed me off. I worked out the whole off season. You would come in with them bands and you would beat all of us. Okay. You would beat all of us in the gassers. You would beat all of us in all the drills. I don't know how you did it.
What was in them bands?
How you did it?
And with that being said, everyone, welcome to Get Your Popcorn Ready. We got Super Bowl 50, Super Bowl champ, DeMarcus Ware in the building today. My former teammate from 06 to 09 with the Dallas Cowboys. And I love that introduction. I knew it was about me, but DeMarcus, we're going to
you done set him up, D. You done set him up too early,
really
baby.
about me. But no, that's just what I did. Now, it was just, I tried to really evolve every summer. There was something that I tried to do with my game every offseason that I trained. And my trainer, Buddy, who lived in Atlanta, I didn't really know much about like lifting outside of like when you go to high school and you go to college, you're doing pretty much all the your major muscle groups.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're doing your squats, you're doing your incline, your bench, this, that, and the other, leg press. But what I wanted to do throughout the course of my career, especially after my third or my fourth year, I wanted to get faster. I wanted to kind of catch up with the speed of the game. So when I hired him, every year he evaluated throughout the course of my seasons what he saw and what I could be doing better and right. And so when it came to like me lifting weights and things of that nature, especially bench press, he basically said, he goes, you're not an interior lineman. You're not a defensive lineman. You're not going to be pushing guys. You know, when are you ever using two arms? Right. So that's when we started to really isolate the muscle groups, and I started using dumbbells. And then as I got older and I started, playing a little bit more, he wanted to kind of just incorporate more workouts that would, I guess, benefit me and that was advantageous for the receiver position. So that's when we start incorporating some of the band workouts. So it got away from really working harder to really start working smarter. And you can use that. You can use that in your intro and some of your fitness stuff. It's not about always working hard.
Hey, I can tell he definitely used all the dumbbells. But go ahead, D-Ware.
Yeah, no. To that point, dude, I done lost 20 pounds. I'm about 245. I don't lift no heavy weights for real. I mean, they're just for the gram, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I use dumbbells. I use bands. I use kettlebells. Right. That is it. And it's almost like working out harder and not working out smarter and not harder and not hurting your body. I mean, I had 51 injuries. I got the papers. I had 51 injuries from the time I played for 12 years, dude. Right. And to this day right now, I can go out there and play better than I did when I played those years where I had 10, 20, 20 sacks. So that's why I'm trying to give that to everybody else now, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a computer science major. I use augmented reality, machine learning in there to where it actually learns with you. So the weight that you put in, it grows with you. The exercises grow with you. There's focus points. There's all that stuff in there, right? But then I told people, they're like, DeMarcus, I can't work out like you. Okay, cool. I got some home workouts in there for you too. Mm-hmm. So you can use body weight. You can use band just like T.O. was talking about. You see exactly what we look like right now, better than we did when we played. And we're trying to give that, and I'm trying to give that to people through Driven to Win. I just want them to go and download it. It's free. 7 days for free. Just go download the app. We don't download a lot of stuff for free, right? We know about that. But get them to go on the App Store, type it in.
And I like what you said. You have to make a correction. You have to really emphasize when you're talking about, when you say we, you're talking about me and you. When you talk about looking better, then you're not talking about hacks. So I just want our listeners to understand when he's
don't shake your head to that.
Hey, this is when you get your popcorn ready. If you think it, we say it. And that's our motto. If you think it, we gonna say it. So I want to be true to our listeners out there, our loyal listeners right there. We want to get them authentic material. So I just want to address those people that are listening, that are, our valued subscribers. When he says, listen, guys, when DeMarcus saying we look better than we did when we played, he's talking about himself and he's talking about team. Yeah. He's not talking about my host.
We're going to cut this short today. We're going to cut this short today. I'm going to stop all this hating on this gosh dang GPR today, fellas. Forget both y'all tearing down long, man, go with y'all.
No, but I definitely enjoyed, like I said, it was 3 years go by really fast. I know when I played for the 15 years, when I reflect back on my career, Hatch played 8 years. I'm being real right here. I mean, it goes by so fast. You played 12 years in the league.
Right.
And those 3 years that we shared in that Dallas Cowboy locker room and on that field in Dallas Stadium, man, it went by so fast. And I feel bad that the talent, and you just posted something the other day. You just posted a picture from Hawaii at the Pro Bowl. At the Pro Bowl, and it was 13 of us. It was 13 of us, bro. And at that time, it was a record. So that shows you the talent that we had on that team. And it's unfortunate that we didn't win. We didn't win a Super Bowl. And honestly, the year that Tony bobbled that snap, that could have been
another year.
Best.
Another year.
Yeah, dog. I ain't gonna tell no lie. I didn't really think about it till I started seeing some clips of it. I'm like, oh my gosh, we did lose that damn game, and that was for us to go to the playoffs, bro. Yeah. If he doesn't bobble that snap and he kicks that field goal, bro, that could have been our first Super Bowl win.
I go back and think about it, dog. We had Larry Allen, Flozell Adams, Andre Garrard, Mark Colombo. You had Marion Barbarian. You had Patrick Creighton. I'm to my dog. It was one of the things where like everybody that we played, it was like, dog, y'all walked out on the field like monsters. Y'all was so big. Y'all just did whatever y'all wanted to do. Like teams don't say that right now. They don't say that.
No,
and it was ridiculous, man. It was ridiculous.
Bro, we would walk through guys.
You guys had those 13 Pro Bowlers in the year you did not go to the playoffs?
13-3.
Yeah, 13. Yeah, I think that was.
Oh, y'all went to the playoffs though. Okay, I thought y'all didn't go to the playoffs and still.
No. We went to the play. We lost to was it the Giants?
That year 9-7.
Yeah, that year. That year I think I had a high ankle sprain, but I end up playing. I scored,
you were injured? Shocker.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen much. Hey, but the thing is, I still lined up. They didn't think I was gonna play, and I still got in that end zone.
Yep.
That's not a shocker.
Speaking about getting in that end zone, so D Ware, you were a receiver in high school and a linebacker, right? Which is crazy to me to think. So give us which one is harder, to score a touchdown receiving or get a sack on a QB? Which one is more difficult?
I would say the thing is, man, I would say getting a touchdown receiving, because the reason why I say that is because, it's two different things, right? Like you got two guys usually on you, especially like UTO. You got a corner and you had a free safety, right? You're going to always get double. For me, I'm going to take that guy out with that double team. But for me, I can have a tight end. I can have a running back. I can have a wide receiver. I can have a tight end, a running back, and a tight end. So everybody blocking on me, right?
Yeah.
But if my cornerbacks do their job, I get that extra second to get to the quarterback. So it really don't even matter I'm going to be a beast regardless of what you say. You put 3 over there, you put 2 over there, I'm going to run through you. Like that was like my job. But I would tell those corners, hey, give me an extra second. That's why I always did like this. That means I'm finna get after it. I need you to run for one more second. I'm coming. And when that happened, I always, majority of the time, got a sack. But it's different at that wide receiver position. You got to worry about me coming.
Man, is that what you meant when you did? Is that what that meant?
Yeah.
Get it popping?
I didn't even know that. I thought, man, I'm getting educated on the Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast.
Yeah. Every time I do like this,
do that, I didn't know what that meant. I thought that was just like you were just getting hype, or you were just feeling yourself.
Nope. Every time like this, let's say whoever's on my right side, if it was T-New, if it was Aaron Glenn, I did like this. I'm like, hey, you better go like man-to-man coverage. Even if they were in cover 2, I'm like, hey, I got one-on-one. I said I have one-on-one on this side. Hey, hold him. That means that he'll press in cover 2, where he's like, shit, I know I got T.O. over here, but I'm going to have to press him because D-Ware going to put more pressure on him, and I have enough time to get there. So it was cool.
Yeah, okay. Communication. I see it. All right.
Yeah, we're sitting here talking to DeMarcus Ware, 9-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champ with the Denver Broncos as well. So give us some stories when you went to Denver. Again, you left Dallas. You thought you were going to end your career in Dallas. You go to
Right.
Denver. You get to play with Peyton Manning. Like, how was that experience like in going to win that Super Bowl?
You know, it was crazy, man, because, you know, leaving from Dallas, there was a lot of Chiefs. I'm being honest with you. You had T.O., you had Romo, you got Whitten, you got me. You had like a lot of dogs on defense, right? Everybody was a Chief. Everybody had the star, and they wanted to etch their name in the star, right? When I went to Denver, it was a lot different. I had a lot of young cats. I had Von Miller, Malik, you know, Derek Wolf. I had Peyton on the other side, which was an older guy at the time, but everybody else was young. You know, C.J. Anderson, like that. And so they're playing pool, they're chilling, playing video games.
Yeah.
They got the barber in there, haircuts. I'm looking like, man, we never gonna win no games here. You know, because I'm so used to everybody. When we was at the facility, it was formal, it was
Football.
straight up. When I left, guess what? Everybody got kids, they gone. We didn't hang out. We got the moms and their family coming to go and eat every week.
Yeah.
Like, so y'all got these food trucks outside on Thursday every day and all the families coming. I didn't know exactly what they were doing, but they were like building team camaraderie, man. Like it was one of those things where like after the first, third, fourth, fifth game, like you wanted to play even more for that guy beside you because you knew what his kids were. You know he's staying there all day, right? And then, you know, playing with Peyton, he was like one of those guys where if you say, hey man, I got this show that I'm gonna be doing tonight. You gonna pull up? He would come, and he will be so out of place.
Right.
Where we at? But guess what? He will come, and I'm like, shit, fucking Peyton came. He actually came to the show.
Good teammate.
So it was one of them things, man. Like it was like do or die. Like everybody was together. I know that's why we won that Super Bowl.
Hey man, let me tell you something. To be fair, bro, we were in Irving. At that facility that we had, bro, we had a lunchroom where they had curtains that Roger Staubach walked through, Harry Henderson, Drew Pearson. Man, we had the worst facility ever. And the Dallas Cowboys is known for obviously making money. You got a billionaire in Jerry Jones. Clearly, they obviously has really expanded upon and
it's a beast.
Right, renewed their facility. But man, I was shocked when I went over there. When I went to Dallas, I'm thinking I'm about to go to a nice facility because I had just come from Philadelphia and they had upgraded their facility. So they had like the cafeteria, everything. Man, I walked in there with the Cowboys. They got the same couches that Michael Irvin slept on and did some of everything else. Emmitt Smith. Bro, they had curtains. They had blue curtains dividing so the media wouldn't look in the locker room. Man, I was like, what kind of mess is this? So there wasn't really an environment for us to be all create some camaraderie, to be honest.
Hey.
It was a different environment. I mean, I left from Troy. So, you know, me coming from Troy and you coming from a small school too, when we go somewhere like that, it's like, man, it's big. That's big for us. I went from one person talking on a little camera recorder like this, famous Amos, to 50 cameras every day in the locker room. So I'm looking like, hey, I mean, what's the deal? So it was crazy, man. But we had the team though, T.O.
Yeah, for sure.
It did not matter what facility we had. We had the team. We had the players all day.
We definitely did that. We definitely did that. So I want to ask him because I know when I left, obviously my departure was unexpected. When I went there and I saw your work ethic and I knew you was like you said, you was one of the chief, you was one of the anchor guys. You was like one of the staple guys on that defense. And so I was shocked. I was surprised that, again, they released you or whatever the situation may have been. What was your feeling leaving the Dallas Cowboys and now you got to go embark and really make your imprint, stamp your greatness on another team? What was that like leaving? Like you said, when I went over there, it's like, you know, I'm playing on America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. What was that like, and what was those feelings like leaving Dallas? And then, you know, like I said, we know what ultimately happened in Denver.
You know, the thing is, man, like Dallas is where I started at. I was there for 9 years. I mean, it was like one of the things where you gave every single thing to that team, right? And then it get to a point to where business hit, right? Everything's going good, you're playing good, and they can pay you. But then when you get to a salary cap, the salary cap is a salary cap. It don't matter who the owner is, how much money they got. It's like, hey, we don't have money to pay you. And so I'm like, okay, well, you guys owe me whatever, $15 million, whatever. I don't know how much it was. And I said, well, I'll take 9. Give me 9. I want to stay here. Give me 2 more years. I still got a lot in the tank. And I think I made the Pro Bowl that year too. So it was like, I actually balled out. So I'm still good at what I'm doing. But then, Jerry said, we can't pay you, but what we want to do is we want you to test. We want to release you and test the market and see how much you're actually worth. And I was like, man, if you do that, I know somebody gonna pick me
snatch you up.
Somebody gonna snatch me up. And I was already thinking in my mind, like, Jerry, man, come on. And he was like, DeMarcus, I can't. I'm being honest with you. You've given everything. You emptied the bucket for the Dallas Cowboys. He was honest as heck with me too. He said, but we have to let you go out and test the market. You see what I'm saying? I was still under contract, and he was like, we could keep you here, but I don't want to do that. You've given everything to this organization. And so for me, to get respect like that, I said, you know what? He's going to release me and let me go test the market. And that's when Denver came. Actually, Denver, Philly, I think it was Green Bay, and I think it was the Rams. All of them offer like the same thing. And I said, all right, well, they're going to offer me 3 times more than this. And Peyton, hey, DeMarcus, you know we need a pass rush up here, right? And I'm thinking in my mind, like, this dude is scoring 45 points a game. It was something stupid.
Right, yeah.
I can rush the passer, and I got Von Miller on the other side. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go up there. Like, that's what that was about, and it was one of them things where when I left, I didn't feel good when I left because that's where I started at. That's why I wanted to stay. But the thing is, it felt good knowing that Jerry was like, all right, we're going to release you and let you actually test the market. Because he could have held me to the end of where I wouldn't have got that big bread.
Right. They would have released you late.
Yeah, I would have had no choice. So it was big. It was big.
Well, clearly he had more love for you than he had for me because I didn't have that type of conversation. The sap sucker got a little liquored up with him and his son Steven invited me to a hotel and they cut me. So, my departure wasn't as pleasing as yours. And till today, I don't really.
When you left, like, what were you thinking? Like, I still got more in the tank.
No doubt.
What was you feeling? You know what I'm saying?
There was no doubt I had more in the tank. Like you saw what I did. Like, if you go back, like, and look at my statistics playing those 3 years, I think it probably wasn't until like maybe about 4 years ago when Dez was there. He's the one that broke my record for the number of touchdowns in a 3-year span or what have you. So like I said, I was doing equally as good as I was when I left Philly. I was scoring, me, bro. I was scoring touchdowns left and right.
Yes, you was.
So, and then they had just signed me. Remember, I had just signed an extension. I had just signed an extension to continue on with the Cowboys. And he called me, talked to me after that season that we had lost with the Giants. And the next year we were supposed to go into Jerry's world. He called me and basically asked me, he's like, how can we get over the hump? You know what I mean? What do we need to do offensively? And for me, the conversation that you had, that's the direction and the field that I thought we were going in. Because I felt, okay, he's calling me, he's including me to, like, I felt like a leader on the team. What do we need to get to the Super Bowl? I told him, I gave him my honest input. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't even all about me. I was adding, if you ask people, you've been there. You ask people on the offensive side of the ball, bro. Like, I wasn't a selfish guy. It was times I saw in film or on the field where Tony was forcing the ball here and there. And those are my honest assessment. And that was in-house. I'm saying that because we were talking in-house and I'm letting Jerry know, I'm letting guys know how we can win ball games. And it wasn't always throw me the ball because I knew my value. I was like, when you talk about guys taking up double teams, clearing and having you isolated, you going one-on-one. That's what I did on the offense side of the ball. I knew that when that ball snapped, I knew there was an opportunity for me to get the ball, and I knew there were plays designed where I allowed and I enabled other guys to get open. So my point is saying that when he asked me, I gave him my honest assessment based on what we could do in the future, going into the new season, new stadium. Man, 2 months after that, I'm in Florida. He calls my agent because that's where I was living at the time. Yeah. And they had like some owners meeting or what have you. So a lot of the owners was in town. So he called up my agent and asked us to come, come to the hotel. And my agent basically said, oh, yeah, he just want to just, catch up with you while he's in town, this and that. And that. So that's what I thought the meeting was going to be about. Man, I left that meeting with no job.
Butt naked in the cold. Look at you.
No job.
Yeah.
I know that struck a fire under you too.
What? Man, it still irks me to the day.
Take it back to the beginning. So when you got to Dallas, T, like when you went D Ware, right? You're in your second year. You see because at the time T was a rock star in the league, right?
Oh yeah.
So this rock star, he comes in the building, the locker room. You're in the league now. You're confident. You see what's going on in the NFL. But what was that? Did he have influence when he came in the locker room? Did he control it? Like what was that first? The first experience with?
You know what's so crazy? I remember when T.O. first came in. I was just walking into the meeting, and y'all don't understand. Like T.O. used to love a Volkswagen Beetle. Okay? He had a turbo, I think it was a black Volkswagen Beetle. And I remember drove by. Silver, and you drove by. And I'm like, who the hell got this Beetle?
Had a Beetle, right?
This Beetle. And so he got out. The only thing I saw was Chucks. I saw some Chuck Taylors. Walked in, clean, fly. I was like, okay, that's T.O. So we got our lockers, everybody got the end caps, all the captains and stuff. He come in, he sit in, and he just chilled, right? He didn't say one word, but he spectated and he got to know everybody. You see what I'm saying? How what groups and everything he gonna get in. Yeah, it is. And then one thing that he did not do on the practice field, he did not talk.
Mm-hmm.
He worked. He worked. Like every single thing that he did, he worked harder than anybody. But in the game, that's when he turned it on. The popcorn came out. You see what I'm saying? It was one of the things came out. Yeah. It's like it was two different things where I'm like, damn, this dude is the hardest worker I ever seen.
Yeah.
Everything. He would catch a little hitch. There's like 5 yards, and he would run full speed, 80 yards, all the way down the field. I said, this dude gotta be tired. He gotta be tired. While I'm getting, it was one of them things, man, where it was like when you see a player, how you should actually practice and play and carry yourself.
Yes.
I was like, I gotta do that. I'm running full speed and practice, tired as hell, trying to rush a pass against Flozell and all them other dudes out there. But it was one of them things, man, to where when he came in, you saw greatness. Like you saw greatness, but it was a quiet greatness amongst us. Where everybody was like, man, is T.O. a bad guy in the locker room? And I'm looking like, have y'all even been in here?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Y'all just seeing what's on the field. You seen Get Your Popcorn Ready. That's what you see. This dude prepared 6 days for the 7th day to give some team hell. And that's what he did.
Yeah.
Week in and week out. So I think it was awesome, man, playing with T.O.
That's cool.
Man, I appreciate you saying. I do appreciate you saying that, and that's why too. Like when I got nominated for the Hall of Fame my first year, all these speculations came out. Not really speculation, but that was one of the main reasons why they say I shouldn't have been in the Hall of Fame, because I had all these locker room issues with my teammates and stuff like that, and those were items that prevented me from being a first ballot Hall of Famer. And so again, it was only the media that pushed that narrative, and it basically just followed me throughout the course of my career. I mean, it started toward the end of my career, middle to the end of my career in San Francisco. And then I went to Philly. There were some, issues that happened with me and Donovan or what have you. But again, those were individual disagreements or what have you. So that really didn't have anything with what to do with anything that I did on the field. Because when I went on that football field, like DeMarcus said, I practiced hard. And then when I played, it made the game look easy. So that's why I did that, because I learned it in San Francisco, watching some of the greats do it. And so that I instilled that was embedded in me. And so I did it everywhere that I went. So it wasn't anything, like I said, I wasn't one of those guys that talked a lot of trash. If you look at a lot of the highlights, you see a lot of sound bites, this and that and the other, where I'm talking on the sideline. I'm not actually talking trash to guys during the game.
You're talking to yourself.
Exactly. I mean, if I'm gonna talk to anybody, it's gonna be to myself. I'm gonna get my own self hype. I don't need to talk trash to somebody to get me up. Because my thing is, I knew my game. I knew my game was gonna speak loud for me.
D Ware, did you ever get a sack and started feeling yourself, or you started talking to any of the quarterbacks?
You know what, man? I never talked on the football field. I never talked. Like T.O. knew I never talked. Like
right.
I'm too tired. I'm too tired to talk.
That win.
Yeah, but you knew though, every single time when I strapped up, I'm gonna steal your heart. Like that was like something that no matter what, when I play, I don't care how big you were, who you were, if you're a wide receiver, if you touch these pads that I got on right now, I want you to feel these pads. Because I don't want you here all this week for this Sunday. I'm gonna get it to somebody on Sunday.
This my reward.
This is my reward right here.
Right. I mean, and what he's describing, like he said, when he went out there, he said he didn't talk. He was like, bro, he was like a bear, bro. He's like a gentle bear. But then when you see him and you just watch him play, bro, when you see him come out of the stands, when you talk about horsepower, that's what you saw. As soon as that ball snapped, he came, bro, he was coming off that ball. He was coming. Everyone. And the thing is, I admired and I watched those guys because they had an array of moves. You had rip throughs, you have spins, they had everything right to counter what these guys had basically game planned and studied all week. And so that's what's so unique. When, like he said, he was describing like the guys that were in our locker room. Like, bro, we had some stars in that locker room. We had some people that could ball. And so that was so for me, that was so encouraging. And for me to even go to the Cowboys. And as DeMarcus said, I just sat in the room, sat in the locker room or whatever. And everybody in the locker room, you don't necessarily have to get along or like each other. But as long as you're playing and you're playing for the common goal, then that's all that matters. Everybody's not going to go after practice or an after game and chop it up and break bread and be together. But at the end of the day, we're all grown men. We're there to play football. And that's the ultimate goal, is to win games and get to the Super Bowl. Right. And it's unfortunate with the talent that we had that we weren't able to do that.
Right. And ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. This is the #1 sporting event on the planet that people bet on. That's right. It is Super Bowl weekend, Super Bowl 55, coming up for all you football fans. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The moment you have all been waiting for is right around the corner. DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of Super Bowl 55, is bringing back their golden ticket giveaway with a $55 million in prizes up for grabs. And for all you football fans, the time is here. The moment you have all been waiting for all season is right around the corner. And DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of Super Bowl 55, is bringing back their golden ticket giveaway with up to $55 million in prizes up for grabs. All you have to do is to get your share of these huge prizes is enter DraftKings free FREE Super Bowl prediction challenge. Once you submit your picks, you will get a free instant prize up to $25,000. And if you have the most predictions correct, you could win the top prize of $1 million. Download the app now. Enter free FREE prediction challenge. Answer questions like who'll score last, and boom, get ready to make it rain. DraftKings has paid out over $7 billion, that's billion with a B, to its players since 2012, so they know a thing or two about the big paydays. Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code GPR to enter for free $55 million Super Bowl prediction challenge. Everyone gets an instant prize up to $25,000 just for playing. So use promo code GPR now and enter the $55 million Super Bowl challenge only at DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of Super Bowl 55. Terms and conditions and eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. So exactly. D, so again, T just said again, you had speed, you had power, right? 640 or 6'4", 260. Now again, there's always going to be that one tackle. There's that one dude that you trying to spin, you trying to pop. You can't get. Who is that dude? Who's your kryptonite in the league?
Dude, it was Walter Jones for the Seattle Seahawks. Dude.
Really?
Like you didn't understand. Another Alabama guy. Mm-hmm. I remember when I came in as a rookie, they were like, "Man, he don't even work out." I was like, "What you mean he don't work out?" They said he just pulled the car up the hill. And so I started watching tape. So he had the chains when he was pulling the car up the hill. I was like, man, this all right. Okay, yeah, he doing that.
Right.
But then I saw him like mashing like Jason Taylor, mashing straight hand. Like he was mashing everybody. I don't care what nobody say.
Right,
yeah. Throwing him to the sideline. I said, he don't do that to me. But he did. He did it. Yeah, he did. Like he did. I got off the ball so fast one time, he didn't even get out of his stance. Okay. He turned around. I turned him around so fast. By the time he hit my shoulder pad, I just remember my face, man, like hitting the ground. I said, I'm jumping off the ball faster than him. And how is he still beating me? He was just that strong. And one time I saw O.C. Umenyiora. O.C. was like, dude, you got to go and get him, dog. You got to go and get him because if you don't, he's going to crush you. Right. And so one time when he was in Dallas, I remember when we were in Dallas, I was like, all right, I'm going to work on all my power moves. I don't know how I'm going to beat him, but I'm working on all my power moves. I did like 10 power moves back to back, lull him to sleep, and then I turned them burners on. Went around the corner. I beat him like 2 times. I got like about 2 or 3 sacks on that game. And like the rest was history. But that time I was like, I made it.
Because you got mental. Yeah, if I can beat him, I can beat anybody. Right.
It took me 4 years. 4 years of playing that dude to get 1 sack.
Wow.
4 years, dog. 4 years.
Awesome. So hey, DeMarcus, tell us now. We got Super Bowl 55 approaching here pretty soon. Give us. You got 2 dynamic quarterbacks in Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. Take us through your mindset of possibly preparing and playing in this game with each of these quarterbacks. So let's start with Patrick Mahomes. How do you, and if like I said, obviously you're a football mind, you're a staple on the end, and obviously you're gonna be working directly closely with the defensive coordinator. How do you guys stop Patrick Mahomes?
You know, man, he's one of those guys that like to move around in the pocket. Like no matter what nobody say, he sits back there, but he always flushes to the right side. So I would get my tackle on the left side to really push the pocket, to close that end up, right? I would get the backside rushers to rush because now you got Fisher out. Fisher's out. You got your second string tight tackle in there. So Pierre Paul got to eat. Yep. I would get Shaq and I would get Stu. I'll put him on the left side. I'll get him to push that pocket. Now I let Pierre Paul eat on the backside because he's gonna get one-on-ones. Even if they chip him, it don't matter. That means there's one guy that's not gonna be out there, right? If that's how I would attack the situation, the same thing we did with Cam Newton in Super Bowl 50. We knew he liked to run out to the right. So I was the spy guy. Vaughn was rushing with Derek Wolfe. I was just a rapper. Every single time he ran around, I would wrap around the corner. I would come in the A's and B gaps and make sure that I was the spy guy so he couldn't get away. But then you flip. Yeah, I will flush him and make him throw the football. Right. I understand we got Tyreek Hill. Y'all better put somebody on that dude. That dude fast. I mean, he was raising T.O. fast too. I saw the whole deal. So put somebody on that dude. And with Kelsey, we actually had Gronk at the time when we played Brady. We actually dropped Von Miller out on Gronk. So we used to do a 5-man rush in a 3-4. We dropped out Von on Gronk and let me rush. I got one-on-one. So now we was able to get pressure with a 4-man rush. And so now we had somebody on Gronk with the inside linebacker. So it took him away too. So we schemed him up real good. So that's how I would attack Patrick Mahomes in this situation. I mean, going to Brady, you about to ask him about Brady, right?
Right, yeah, because you think about Brady, he's not your mobile quarterback. He's not really going anywhere. So he's one of those guys, he's going to beat you with his smarts, his intellect. He's going to try to manipulate the defense with his eyes. So how do you contain a guy? And the thing is, it's like people have been trying to do it for so many years. This guy has 6 Super Bowl rings under his belt, going for his 7th. So now he's with a new team, a new set of weapons. Still has his staple guy and Gronkowski. How does DeMarcus Ware prepare for Tom Brady?
I think just like we did in the AFC Championship when we beat them, we rushed 3. We rushed 3 dudes, and we had a lot of coverage. When you have a lot of coverage, I mean, he got to sit back and he got to pat that ball a little bit, so it gives those 3-man rushers now opportunity to get there. So like with Vaughn was actually dropping back the whole game. He was on Gronk with the inside middle linebacker. And then we had Derek Wolfe, we had Malik, and we had me. We had 3-man rush against 5 dudes. I know they got 5 offensive linemen there, but if you can get there in a 3-man rush and create pressure, guess what? He ain't running anyways. So if you can get there, now they're going to run into a problem. Because it was like the most in NFL history. We had like 32 quarterback hits and like 6 sacks on him. But he still almost beat us. Right. And we did not blitz. We did not blitz one time on that dude. When you blitz him, he's gonna find an open man every time. I don't care what you say. Oh, okay, he's not gonna find. He's gonna find him, and he's gonna crush you with it. So don't bring a lot of pressure, 3-man rush, and coverage. Make him hold that football.
So so it will behoove the Kansas City Chiefs to kind of go back to a little bit of that film and watch that game. How you guys kind of contain it. That's probably not going to work for the entire game, but obviously with their personnel, they can kind of mix it up and give them some different looks. So I appreciate you.
You got to change it up. You got to change it up.
Well, yeah. Before you get out of here, D. Ware, I want to get your top 5 pass rushers of all time. I'm gonna get your top 5 list. And say you can put your
top 5 pass rushers. I would say number 1, Bruce Smith.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, a dude that played forever in the league, but also just a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5. If you don't put your name in a top 5, you got a problem. So I would say I'm top 5.
There, I like it. I like it.
I got to add that in there. And probably, some guys that I played with that don't get a lot of recognition. I would say probably like Leroy Glover. He's one of them guys where he's not getting a lot. He didn't get a lot of accolades and stuff like that. I'm
not a lot of headlines, but when you had the game plan against him, if you played against the Saints, you knew somewhere somehow Leroy Glover's name came
right. Right. I would say Michael Strahan is another dude, especially, the power that he brought to the game. It was just, you had to have somebody on it. If you left him over by himself, you're going to run into a problem. Like, even to this day, like an Aaron Donald, right? Aaron Donald, I think I'm at number 3 or 4 right now. Aaron Donald. That dude, man, is a freaking beast. I've never seen an interior guy like that. I'm trying to go back and forth and get some of the older guys with some of the younger guys. And, I'm trying to just think about it's so many freaking pass rushers out there, man, that I still talk to this day.
About? I know you're trying to think about your 5th one. I'm thinking these are some old school guys that I saw coming on up in my career. You think about your Reggie Whites and your Charles Haleys.
That's right.
Hey, let me tell you guys. Let me tell you guys something. We're talking to DeMarcus Ware, 12 seasons in the National Football League, Super Bowl 50 champ, Super Bowl 50 champ with the Denver Broncos. And you talk about high power, you talking about with finesse.
Oh, Reggie White was,
Let me tell y'all something on Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast. I want you guys to go Google Reggie White. That dude
was a grown man.
I thought if you watch some of his highlights, bro, you would think that he has a mechanical arm. That shit was illegal. What he was doing to 300 and something pounds.
When you throw Larry Allen, you doing something.
What?
And everybody knows this Larry Allen, right? Everybody knows how
he
was. Beast, dude.
Man, when you saw him throw and toss those tackles like that, bro, just think about what he would do to us, Hatch.
It ain't a game. I'm out. Cut.
You got Lawrence Taylor. Yeah. You got some dudes, man.
Aaron Tippett.
So you're right. We need your 5th. We need your 5th. We need your 5th. We need your 5th.
Take one of those names.
I would say I'm not gonna number them. I'll just say, hey, these are top rushers. Right. I would say Bruce Smith, Reggie White, me. Michael Strahan, and I'm just trying to think. I'll say Aaron Donald. You
said right. You mentioned Leroy
Glover. He's in there. Yeah. Right. So it's so many of them.
So many.
I play with them. You know.
Yeah. I get you. Like I said, we want everybody to know. Like I said, it's not in any particular order. These are your top 5. So we don't want your listeners, your fans to feel like you're discriminating or you're hating on anybody.
No, I'm gonna tell you like it is. I don't care about that.
All right. Well, tell everybody where they can find your app as well before you get out of here, man.
Hey, dude, it actually got featured right now for one of the top new apps in the Apple Store. So if you download D2W in the App Store, in the Apple App Store, bam, it's right there, Driven to Win, a pop-up. And one of the main things I'm trying to do is get people to download the thing. Because once they do that, it's going to create monumental change in their lives. I was a captain for 12 years, and now this gives me an opportunity to be a captain in their lives through fitness. Lead them into leading fitter lives, get them off of the couch, get them into the gym if the gyms are open. And it took me 3 years to come up with this thing, using augmented reality, also videos. So if you don't know how to do it, it shows you how to do it. If you want to have the videos, it's me taking you through tutorials too. and it's cool, man. And I'm excited about it. I launched it in December, and shoot, I mean, the sky's the limit with this. So new content comes out every month, and I keep it fresh for you. So go download it in the App Store, in the Apple App Store, and just say type in D2W and it'll pop up.
Hey, Hats, you need to be on that ASAP, bro. You need to be on that ASAP. As soon as we get off this show right here, bro, you need to be D2W. Yeah, you need to be on it, bro. I'm telling you, hey, you need to get, I know you do all your augmented reality stuff that implement into the workouts.
Get them abs right.
You may have to come up with a whole new plan because this dude's body right here. I mean, he's our age, but his body is like double the age that it really is.
I got this hip. I got this hip thing, D. Where I got a hip, baby.
Nice. Hey, I tell you what, T.O., you the next figure that's gonna be in there. I'm telling you right now. But I appreciate what you're doing. I've always been into fitness, and I just want to go back to something that you were talking about early on in the show. Is that when you saw when I came that I was always in shape. It wasn't really too. Yeah, I mean every year I came in because that's what I prided myself on is really being in condition. Because the thing is to be a receiver, and you too, y'all got to run around. We have to run a long ways. We got to run routes. Got to run back to the huddle. And I wanted to try to be one of the best conditioned athletes because I wanted to do whatever I did in the first half of the game. I wanted to have that energy in the second half of the game. And as I mentioned, like I said, I had a personal trainer to help me become knowledgeable about nutrition, about fitness, about really keeping your body and optimizing your performance. A guy on our team, he reached out to me. He asked me, he pulled me to the side. He's like, T, who's your trainer? Jay Ratliff. Yep.
Jay Ratliff asked me about who my trainer was. Jay had made no Pro Bowls, none.
Yeah.
He hired my trainer that year, and he made the Pro Bowl after that. So that's a testament to what I was doing, but I owe it to my guy, Buddy Prim. And like I said, if you put the right people in your lives that really knows what they're doing, they got so many trainers today. They coming out of the woodworks. They coming up with all these elaborate, work, especially receivers doing all these things.
Yeah.
Look, all that going back and forth, patting your feet 1,000 times, all that ain't finna get you off no line. You're going to get hemmed up.
No, sir.
But if you go with the basics, right, you go with the basics and then trying to evolve just a little bit, try to find some cutting edge ways. And like I said, I'm sure with you, if you were to play the game day, you're so smart, you're smarter than the average. Then what you've done with as far as transforming your body, that's going to elevate your game. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, how is he doing that at his age? What Tom Brady is doing at 43, for me, it's not surprising. Because if you think about it, I could be playing at this age too, because all Tom Brady has to do is keep his skill set sharp. He has big ass meatheads protecting him, and the league has protected him. You can't touch him. All he got to do is just deliver the ball, put the ball where it's supposed to be. He can probably play to 50 if he wants to. If he ain't getting hit.
He still got some more years in him.
Right, exactly.
He got two. He got two in him.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, D-Ware, we appreciate you coming on, man. Like I said, appreciate you taking the time, brother.
Thank y'all for inviting me on, man. Y'all take care.
All right, do your thing. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. DeMarcus Ware, Super Bowl 50 champion of the Denver Broncos, 9-time Pro Bowler as well. Peace. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. DeMarcus Ware, appreciate your man coming on the show today, man, giving us a little insight when you was younger as a rock star when he walked into the Dallas Cowboys locker room.
Yep, man. So now we're into our 3 and out section, man. This is where, for all you new listeners, subscribers that are tuning in, this is where we kind of give our 3 takeaways from the show, from the episode with our guest. And so number 1 would be I think from our perspective was that he went to the Denver Broncos and he basically made a comparison coming over from the Dallas Cowboys. He went into that locker room and he realized he was the veteran. He was the old vet.
School. Right.
Yeah, he was the old school guy in the locker room, and you had a lot of young guys who you would consider them millennials. They were playing video games. They were playing all types of stuff. And that wasn't what he was used to coming from the Dallas Cowboys. So he basically just saw kind of, I guess, a change of the tides, really for him to be the veteran of the locker room. And he basically kind of had to pull those guys along with him. But I'm sure those guys added some youth youth to him as well.
Yeah, and I think it's important for people to understand that the team game, especially the football game, again, because you guys said you had 13 Pro Bowlers, right? I remember at the Minnesota Vikings the 98 season, we had 11 Pro Bowlers, right? Neither one of those teams won Super Bowl rings. So that locker room and team camaraderie does have a lot to do with winning championships and winning rings, because people want to play for each other. You're playing with each other, but when you start playing for your teammates, I think that team bonding is way more important than sometimes the talent that's on the physical field.
Yep.
So our second one of our third now is the Walter Jones story. He said he took him 4 years. I talked to his boy Osi, who they both went to Troy actually together, went to college together. Osi Umenyiora that played for the New York Giants, and he gave him some pointers on how to beat Walter Jones. And after 4 years, he finally got his first sack on Walter Jones. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. When you think you know, you really don't know. And
right.
You had to go back and go back to the drawing board. And again, like I said, a fellow teammate, gave him a college mate or what have you, gave him some tips. And like I said, 4 years to get one sack, man, I would have been doing all types of celebrations.
Right. Then the third one, of course, I love it because we played the receiver position, and we have about 160 touchdowns in the NFL together as a unit. Right. I'm just going to leave it at that. But, how he said that it's harder to catch a touchdown than it is to get a sack. And again, I want people to understand, because you guys think that touchdowns are easy to get.
Right,
things ain't easy to get. Like I said, we got 160 of them, so you can congratulate both of us on those. But touchdown, to catch a touchdown and go through that whole process of, again, catching it, making dudes miss, and then scoring is not an easy job.
Right. But again, if I had to pick between the two, I'm definitely not doing his job because I don't want those problems.
Right. Hey, them big fellas can have it. It's funny you was talking about some of the old Cowboys and how you guys locker room, and you said Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, and you said Harry and the Hendersons, and it's Thomas Henderson. I know who you're talking about.
It was Hollywood Henderson.
Yeah, Thomas Hollywood Henderson.
Right, but everybody
you call him Harry. You call him Harry in the Hendersons because the movie Harry Henderson.
Well, it's the same.
It's not this. You can't call a man Harry and the Henderson.
No, I say a Hollywood Henderson. You need to clean your
Harry.
Well, I probably did. I don't know. I just tried to name some old school.
That's funny.
I probably was talking about. Who was that? Who was that? Harry. I don't tell you who I was thinking about.
But Thomas Henderson is a legend,
right,
and he went to Langston University, of course, and played with the Dallas Cowboys. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in on this episode of Get Your Popcorn Ready with our man DeMarcus Ware. Again, Super Bowl champ, good friend, ex-teammate of T.O. You heard him talk about the locker room and how great it was in Dallas. So don't be listening to all that rhetoric out there on what's really going on.
No doubt.
There it is. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcast to Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast.
And yeah, let me reiterate once again, this is the new version of the YouTube channel for the podcast. So go to the YouTube channel and type in Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast or Get Your Popcorn Ready.